All right, we are live. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing? Who was first today? We had Giant Robots. What's up? We had Stanks on 7. Hey yo, Kale 130. We got Jason Whitmer in the house. Can't wait to get a glimpse of this foot again. I mean, it hasn't changed. I can show you guys my foot if you guys want to see, but it's I've been stagnant and kind of in limbo. It's not getting worse. Actually, I can't say it's not getting worse because literally my like underneath my skin, it could be getting worse. But pain-wise, it's not getting worse. It's just, you know, whatever this potential infection could be eating up the rest of like my cartilage and cushioning in my joints. But yeah, I still can't walk and stuff like that. But I have an MRI tomorrow, which is hopefully going to answer questions. Cody Smith asks, are PC parts from AliExpress legit? I mean, I would say so based on my own personal experience. I've bought PC parts from them before. I mean, if you ask any content creator on YouTube that like makes stuff on PC components, like pretty much like all my, you know, colleagues and friends on YouTube, like Toasty Bros, Scattervolt, Oztalks Hardware, Zach's Tech Turf, Tech Yes City, etc. The list goes on, right? Even the major channels like Linus has done AliExpress PC build type videos, so I would say they're legit. I also would say I haven't really heard notable horror stories, and if I did, it would be a one-off. And there's horror stories about Amazon, Best Buy, etc. Like, you know, the amount of horror stories I've heard about AliExpress is not anything to be concerned about relative to other popular US retailers, I would say. But yeah, from what I heard, it depends mostly on the sellers. I've seen more positive than negatives. Yeah, and even like on Amazon, you have like real legit products, but if it's sold by a third party, they could be scamming. Like I saw an ad or a post on Reddit earlier today that was on a clearly fake PC. Let me see if I can pull it up actually. The person was like, one of the people in the comments was convinced it was real, but you can tell really quickly fake. Let me see. Browser scene. Hide this real quick. But yeah, like, so here's an Amazon listing for a CyberPower PC build. It was listed for $8.99, and hey, it says CyberPower PC. Visit the store. 13900 KF. RTX 4070, 16 gigs of RAM, which is kind of odd given these specs. You would think it would be 32. 16 gigabytes of DDR5 also? Is that like a single stick of memory? I don't think I've seen, unless this is like because they're, you know, a system integrator and they could choose to split sticks up. But like if you're buying DDR5, I have not seen, I've seen 16 gigs in like a single stick, but yeah, this would have to be like single channel, I would think. But yeah, 1 terabyte SSD, etc. Yeah, but look at the specs for $900. Person says, "Is this pre-built worth the money?" on this post, and obviously, everyone is thinking it's a scam. So you can get scams on Amazon too. So Craig Lilly says, "Wow, what did you miss? You didn't miss much. We just started." So. Charlie Q asked, is it pointless to dual stream on Twitch? And I said, I wouldn't say it's pointless, but it depends on if you have a viewer base over there. Like, actually, let's run a poll right now, because we're just still chilling, waiting for people to get to the stream. Start a poll. Would you like me to start streaming on Twitch? How do I get rid of this option? X. Okay. I haven't asked this for a long time, but my assumption is going to be on YouTube. But yeah, Zach Sector, UFD Tech, they both stream on both. Though I think they both do like the running giveaway type things where the longer you watch, the more points you rack up. And then you could like submit it for giveaway entries. And I'm not sure if they only do that because, or they only do that on the Twitch side because I don't think YouTube has any way of integrating that type of system. Like I am not aware of like watch time counters on YouTube where you could do stuff. So like even though they both stream on YouTube and Twitch, like I know Zach says you got to go over and watch on Twitch if you want to enter the giveaway. So I personally don't like watching things on Twitch. It's kind of annoying actually, especially with the way that their ads work. And you could argue, oh, you should subscribe to whoever you're watching on Twitch. But it's like, most people who are watching me on the streams, I don't think they would want to like pay additional money just to not have ads, if that makes sense. Like on YouTube, I could choose where to put the ads, which I don't put ads during the live stream. On Twitch, every time I go over there and I like hop between creators and stuff, it plays like, I swear, like a minute and a half worth of ads. It's like 3 30-second ads or something. And during live content, that's like the worst ad system. Like it makes sense for when the content creator says, okay, I'm going to go use the bathroom. Let me run an ad because nothing is going on in that time. But to like hop into a stream and then be hit with ads while the content creator could potentially be doing something that you don't want to miss. And don't even get me started with Twitch's inability to like go back 30, 40 seconds, 3 minutes if you miss something. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of Twitch. Let's see. What's up, Dan? What's up, Magnus? Ryzen 9000 delayed. Yeah, I saw the Gamers Next. I didn't watch the video, but I saw it pop up on my feed. Twitch is for hot tubs. Jason's spitting hot facts right now. Twitch is for hot tubs. I mean, I wouldn't say that, right? Like, if we went over to Twitch right now, I'm not logged in. Not Twitter. What? Like, what's on the front? So we got. Oh, stop! Stop with the audio. We got Rainbow Six Siege. We've got political stuff from Hassan. We've got, I don't know what the heck this is. Just Chatting, Valorant. There's a decent amount of gaming on this. I'm not logged in or anything, so there's like no bias or, you know, stuff that's fed to me based on what I've looked for. But most of this is like gaming, Escape from Tarkov, Fortnite. But if you look at the categories though, Just Chatting is the biggest one, which is interesting. Hype train's happening right now. As a small creator, I guess even on YouTube, as a small creator, how do you even get discovered on these websites? Like, yeah. Anyone who has any, like, decent amount of following should be, like, you know, they should feel very fortunate because I couldn't imagine trying to start a YouTube channel or to start streaming from zero, which I've done for YouTube, but man. But yeah, Just Chatting, geez, 400,000, more than 400,000 viewers on that. And that's more than the next 1, 2, 3, like these 4 combined. It's actually like the next 5 combined is about 400 something thousand. Dang. Daniel says, can't wait to see the Powertrain P60. Yeah, so we're going to be unboxing stuff. Which you can see right here. I got all the packages. We got one Amazon package because that's what I picked up during Prime Days. Which, by the way, what did you all end up getting for Prime Days? YouTube is better as a viewer because it's lesser ads when watching a stream, but 2 ads for 1 video kind of sucks in my opinion. But it's good as a content creator. 2 ads in 1 videos. See, with YouTube, I don't know. because like I don't watch streams. Maybe I should tune into the next stream that has ads. But I have YouTube Premium. I share an account with Jason Whitmer, who's a mod in the chat. And there's other people on it too, I believe. So we pay like what? How much is it, Jason? 10 a year or 15 a year, whatever. But with YouTube Premium, you just get 0 ads on any channel you watch, right? So I'm paying $10 or $15 for the entire year, and I can watch any YouTube channel and get 0 ads. When you go over to Twitch, if you like do subs or whatever, you won't get ads, right? But that's for a specific channel. So I gotta like sub $5 a month to one channel to watch and not get ads on them. But what if you watch like, you know, 5, 10 different streamers? Kind of like how you watch 5, 10, 100 different YouTube channels. I don't know. I would imagine with YouTube Premium, even when you're watching streams and ads pop up, I don't think there are ads. But it's just stuff like that. Do they have Twitch Turbo for that? How much is Twitch Turbo? Let's take a look. So there's Twitch Turbo cost. Monthly price of $12? Bro, do people watch streams that much? Okay, so I'm gonna end the YouTube poll. So YouTube gets like 83% of the votes. What do you watch more? Spend more time consuming live streams, what do you call, like, pre-recorded content? YouTube. But no money goes to the creators with that. Oof. Ooh. Seriously? First of all, $11.99 a month seems crazy to me, but I'm not a stream watcher. So, like, what is the YouTube Premium cost, even if I wasn't splitting it with Jason? I don't know. It just feels like YouTube, and I'm not trying to be biased because I am on YouTube. Like, even if you reset my mind, put all the facts in front of me, I'm pretty sure I would still say YouTube seems like the better value. Annual plan for YouTube Premium. Whoa, YouTube Premium is about the same price. Yeah, it's like 11 or 12 bucks. How much do I pay Jason a year? I gotta take a look at that again. No ads for YouTube Premium at all. Okay. You need a third choice. I watch about the same amount. Yeah, I should have put a third choice, 50-50, roughly even. I messed up on that one. But no, nothing's ever actually 50-50. Choose the one that you might be 51-49 for. YouTube Premium is a much better deal. No ads on videos with ad-free YouTube. Yeah, YouTube Music is also pretty nice to have when you have that. So good move share group plan. Yeah, I gotta see how much I send Jason every year for YouTube Premium. He sends a reminder. He's very good about getting his money. He sends a reminder when it comes up. Jason. Notification of payment. No, that's not it. Did he send it on Discord? I paid $60 a year. Okay, so it works out to about $5. Okay. $5 a month. Which is still, for me, really good value given how much YouTube I watch. $6.59 individual, $12.49 family, much better than any other platform offers. I used to make new accounts for YouTube Premium every couple of months for free trials. Yeah, but then after a while, it's like, it gets annoying to have to keep on doing that, right? doing it a couple times is fine, but doing that for the rest of your life versus if you have like stable income and can afford it, just like grouping up with however X amount of people and paying for it. I wish there was a way. It's like, so every time, like Melissa, my wife, shows me something on her phone on YouTube, there's like ads because she doesn't have YouTube Premium, but I have it. I could have her log into my account on her phone, but then my YouTube algorithm is going to be messed up with all the stuff that she watches that I don't care about. So that I've been thinking about that, but I haven't done it yet. So my wife still gets stuck with YouTube ads. And I don't know if it would be worth it because she hasn't complained enough to want to like hop on a premium plan. But like, I let Melissa suffer. I mean, she could round up her siblings or something because they share accounts for like, you know, Hulu, HBO Max, etc. You know, those streaming services. But I can't add her into the family because I'm a part of Jason's family, and Jason, I don't know if Jason has open slots, but I don't know if Melissa wants to pay, you know, $5 a month when I have YouTube Premium, and yeah, like. The easiest thing to do would be to log into my account on her phone, and then with our suggested videos is going to be mixed of computer hardware and, you know, Vanderpump Rules and a bunch of the random stuff that she watches. Yeah, cat videos, exactly. I don't mind cat videos popping up on my feed, but yeah. Sharing Microsoft Office 365. I just use Google Docs, and then there's Open Office is still completely free, right? Is Open Office still like a thing? I remember back when, I don't even remember when I learned about Open Office, but Open Office, is it discontinued? Wait, seriously? Whoa, wait. So on Wikipedia, it says final release 2011. This doesn't seem right. Open Office owners announced they would no longer offer a commercial version of the suite, donated the project to the Apache Foundation, renamed it to Okay, so Apache Open Office is still a thing that's running strong, right? Yeah, stable release December 2023. Okay. Well, I wasn't even aware of that. I haven't used Open Office in so long. But yeah, I feel like there's good enough alternatives to Office that I am not going to pay for it. Plus, if, like, for the most part, like, if you work at, like, a company or whatever, they'll have Office if you need to, you know, use it for whatever reason. Use it on your work laptop, get your official Microsoft .docx or whatever, and then transfer it to yourself. My wife is all about true crime. My wife is all about true crime cases. Should I be worried? We watch true crime stuff on Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that a lot, but not really on YouTube. Like, we watch the ones that are made by, you know, the big studios, not the YouTubers who, like, commentate on it and stuff. These past few days haven't been... So, MGLR is currently at Job Corps. Says, these past few days haven't been great. Especially, where are you at? Are you still in state? Or are you in, like... Did you, like, move out of state for the Job Corps? But says, especially the fact that all the other students are terrible people. Hey, at least I get to watch streams after class. Yeah, Job Corps, if you look it up, like, YouTube videos of people talking about it, if it's from, like, the official Job Corps website, they make it seem like the greatest thing ever. But when you look at people's first-hand experience on Reddit or even some YouTube videos, they basically talk about how a lot of the people that go to Job Corps are from, like, lower socioeconomic or just, like, lower income households and stuff like that. So in terms of like drugs, crime, etc., the individuals that partake in that stuff in Job Corps is like higher than your typical, I guess, like school environment. So, yeah, I'm still in state, just 50 miles away. Okay, so you're still in Washington. Okay. I heard bad things about Job Corps years ago. Yeah, but here's the thing. Regardless, it's kind of like if you go to juvenile, detention centers and stuff like that. It can be a bad experience, but you got to make the best out of it, right? Like, you got to keep your head down, focus on what you're there for, get whatever you need done, and then get out with whatever certs, or I think you can work towards like a GED or training towards like specific trades and stuff like that. So, like, you got to be focused and just get your work done so you can get out of there as quick as you can and get on with the rest of your life. So... No, can I cater your next LAN party? Wait, Casey, where are you based off again? Like, location-wise? And also, catering, wait, didn't you talk about... Were you the one that did barbecue? I forgot. I know you've talked about food before in the streams. I forgot what food you make, though. I thought it was more like trade school or continuation school, lol. That's what they advertise it as, but it's... also a lot of like it's kind of like also kind of like a transitional type of system, like people who are fresh out of jail or juvenile detention centers, stuff like that. A lot of them go through Job Corps to get, skills and stuff. So I can travel anywhere. Yes, I do you do barbecue, but are you in Washington State? Like, are you based in Washington State? Or are you actually trying to like travel? In terms of like because the next LAN party is gonna be at my place, I am very, very like particular about basically strangers coming to my house. I've already had kind of like a scare with someone who did find my address and actually like did really annoying pranks. So I'm like, after that, it totally spooked me. So unless we could figure out something like a way to do it, I would have to think more about it. But I'm not totally opposed to the idea. But just inviting viewers to my house is just kind of a weird thought in my mind. Job Corps was dog crap when I was a kid. I'm from Tacoma originally, and most people who went to Job Corps were kids that couldn't learn normally in public schools. I heard of girls having issues with... What? Would be sick to have a taco guy at a LAN party. We could do tacos at the LAN parties, actually, for the next... Because, like, I'm trying to think of what we're going to eat for the next LAN party for, like, the major Saturday night dinner. Kind of like taco bar. That would be pretty cool. Alright. Man, we've been small chatting for a while. I've lost track of the time. Alright. So, foot update for the people who want the foot update. So, like I said earlier, I'm going to have an MRI. So, this is what the feet are looking like right now. I got to elevate my left foot, but, I was just keeping it down to show you that it's still doing the thing. If you look at the skin, so I moisturize every single day. And I use the good stuff too. I use that CeraVe, like a lot. So this is my left foot, which I've been moisturizing every single day, looking burnt, as some have said before. If you look at my right foot, I have not moisturized my right foot probably like ever since this started. I don't moisturize my feet. Like, do you guys lotion up your feet and stuff like that? I don't. So that's my right foot. And the left foot, like, if you look at, I guess my callus right there, it's not helping out my ashy feet situation. But in general, if you look closely, whatever's going on with my skin here, ooh, interesting. But, so yeah, it still turns purple, which shouldn't be normal. I mean, I've been off of this foot for like 5 weeks now. So we're still trying to figure out what is wrong with it. But yeah, I got MRIs, 2 MRIs, for like a 2-hour appointment scheduled tomorrow. And then hopefully they figure out what's wrong to either give me medication or figure out that I need surgery, because I need to be able to start walking again on both feet. Like, this is 5 weeks of not being able to put any weight on my left foot. It's been so inconvenient. Like, imagine just having a broken foot that isn't naturally healing or making any progress at healing when it comes to the pain level when you try to put weight on it. So but that's the update on my foot. I'm kind of worried that even once we fix my foot up, there's going to be permanent damage done at like the cartilage and joint level that will just make my foot weak for the rest of my life. Unless there's some like supplements and stuff like that that can help heal and regenerate that kind of stuff. Though I'm not too like hopeful from my research so far. I don't moisturize anything. Like, I put lotion on, but usually it's on like my arms and legs and maybe face and stuff. But like my feet, I don't give much mind to them. I moisturize the bottom so I can slide around the house. I think it looks better than before. In terms of swollenness, I think it looks better. In terms of like the purpleness, that the hue has been about the same. We went from food to feet too fast. Casey Wall says, I can make tacos. It's actually something I specialize in. I make smoked beef cheek birria tacos. I've been making barbecue food since I was 13. I'm now 31. Food creating is a side hustle too. Wait, did you answer, Casey, where you like operate out of? Like, you're not driving across the country, right? Here's the thing about the food too, which I'm grateful that you are offering, your services and stuff like that. But the food budget and stuff like that too, right? Like, I don't want to shortchange you for the value that you bring with high quality food and your services, but also the way that we budget, we are able to have food for the whole weekend for each person, only paying like anywhere from 20 to 30 bucks with snacks and drinks and everything too, right? Like, if we were to cater to get everyone in on it, to like be down to like pay more and stuff, it would have to be something that I think more about and talk to the rest of the land crew. It's not just something that I can be like, oh yeah, we're doing it. So, you operate out of Missouri? How far would that be? Like, would you be driving or flying? I'm assuming you have a food truck. If you don't have a food truck and the assumption is you're going to be coming and catering, as in like just cooking out of like my kitchen and like getting the ingredients from the local store, then I probably have to shut that idea down, just because, again, like, strangers in knowing where I live, being in my house and stuff like that, that's just not something that I'm personally comfortable with after the spook that I had in the past. I'm not seeing a podiatrist. I'm seeing a rheumatologist. Though, if we can't figure out what's wrong with my foot and I do have to see other specialists, I'm down for that. At this point, I'm willing to do anything to be able to walk normally again. You do have a you would drive from Missouri? Okay, so let's get to unboxing, because that's what the title and the thumbnail of the stream was advertising, so we should do that. So let's start opening up all the packages on the side here, and you're not really gonna be able. Why do I even have this camera showing when it's not gonna show me? So let me hide that. Where is it at? There it is. No point in seeing my face if I'm gonna be off the screen anyways. So okay. We're going to open all the packages, and the main reason for doing this, actually, I should explain, is because AliExpress has like a X number amount of days. If you have problems, you can like, get a return. And I can't just keep on leaving these not checked and unboxed, because like I need to make sure like the case got here and didn't get damaged, and I need to make sure like everything got here, because if they sent me something wrong, I need to file a claim or whatever. So yeah, that's why we got to unbox this. I probably won't be doing this maybe I'll do this build live on stream. But yeah. But I need to unbox all the stuff just to make sure they sent the right stuff to begin with. Hey, what's up, R-Flat? YouTube will not let me post the latest tech drama. What is the latest tech drama? I know there's been a lot of political drama in the last week or two. There's been a lot, like, influencer drama, like with the Mr. Beast, Ava Tyson thing. But tech drama, like, what, is Ryzen being late? Does that count as tech drama? Okay, let me see. Let me move all this stuff out of the way so we can center it. So remember last week during the live stream, we were looking at these white sleeved cables, which will also be for this build. I was able to budget enough to get this build under 500 bucks, including white sleeved cables. So, this is actually a little bit nicer than some of the other sleeve cables I've bought. The ones that just come in straight up like little baggies. This one actually has a box. And let's take a look at the cables themselves. So we do got our white cable combs. And then we have the extension cables themselves. So these are with the white plastic connectors on the end. It's not like, so these are like pure white from tip to tip. Like, it's not just white sleeved cables, it's white at the connectors as well. So these are 16 AWG, so they are the nice, nice thick wires and not the cheap 18 gauge ones. And these were what last week, 15 or 16 bucks. So I got two of them because I have two white builds coming up. And yeah, so these look good. And I'm gonna put this on the side. Actually, let me rebox this. Cable managing with these in this tiny case that doesn't have a separate what's it called, like power supply basement or dual chamber. Oof, that is gonna be interesting. We'll see. If it doesn't fit, then I might not be able to use these cables, because I don't want to use these if it looks like a mess anyways. Like whatever, we could go with a little bit of black in the build. The main thing about the $500 build is it's going to perform really well for the price. If the aesthetics aren't perfect, I'm cool with that. Like, I'm not going to be a super stickler over it. Okay, so here, I'm guessing, so all these things that came from AliExpress, they say Uni on them, or Uni rather. I'm actually not aware if that's just like the shipping service that they use. But that's what all the labels have on them. I'm guessing this is the CPU, but we will see. Do they make RGB power cables? There are RGB power extension cables. If you talk about like the Lee streamers and stuff like that. But tech drama this week involves Ubisoft ACS. That's more like gaming drama. But I'll say this about the Assassin's Creed Shadows thing. I think anybody who's up in arms about it is just mad that... I don't think they're actually mad at the historical inaccuracies, which, if you're talking about an Assassin's Creed game, they take creative liberties regardless. I think they're just mad that there's, the main character is a black dude who's apparently gay, and the other person is like a woman, shinobi. Like, when I hear that that's what the path they're going with the storyline in Assassin's Creed Shadows, I don't get pissed at it. I'm just like, okay, we'll just see what the game has to present us. I don't automatically assume it's going to be a crappy game with a crappy storyline and get super pissed off at it. Did Ubisoft claim that this is like historically like one for one and accurate? I don't know. I think some people are just getting... we know which crowd is getting pissed off at it. Alright, so here's the 5600X. Does it come with the cooler or anything? Let me look at this thing. Is this actually brand new? It looks like it. I can't tell any like scratch dings or any signs of rubbing on it. Let me see. Sorry, I don't have good lighting this high up close to the camera. But yeah, so Ryzen 5 5600, this thing was like 80 bucks around. So I can't give you the exact pricing I paid on these because I use AliExpress coupons on pretty much all of them. And the way the AliExpress coupons work is when you buy multiple items, they don't give you, like when I look at my order history, they don't give me like the total of all the items minus like $30 or whatever the coupon was. They individually split the coupon up. I need to look at how they do the math on it. And then they apply, like on a $30 coupon, they could apply like $12 to this, $11 to another item, and then $7 to the final item. So this came out to probably around 70 something bucks for a brand new 5600. But in the video, I'll do the final summary. It's just, I couldn't see exactly how much it cost based on the AliExpress order summary. Neo Wesco says, the thing I've noticed is the people getting pissed saying, I read some stuff, and the people saying he was a samurai say, I did my call. Here's the thing. And even Ubisoft said it themselves in their apology. They said that because they know that a lot of Yasuke's life was, or like the fact that he was a samurai or not is enshrouded like in mysterious, they said they are writing that into the storyline. So there's probably going to be parts in the game where people are going to question whether or not he is actually a samurai, which I think is a good way to approach it. But yeah, whether or not, like, there is other media, like TV shows, anime, or whatever, made about Yasuke, who is, being a samurai. I'm not sure if those things got as much hate, or if it's because people just hate Ubisoft in general. So, I don't know. I don't know how many historians agree that he was a samurai versus he wasn't a samurai. But even if he wasn't a samurai, but he was, like a bodyguard that was given land, but not property or whatever, people are just like going into the minute details about it. Even if he wasn't an official samurai, I would be okay with playing a game in the universe where he was a samurai, because I know it's fiction and it's not real. Like, I don't know. That's just my take on it. I'm not going to get mad about stuff like that. If it's a good game, it's a good game. Like, alright, so based on the size, we can tell this is a motherboard. And this small one is, what is this? Let's look at this first. This is the solid state drive, X-ray disc. Have y'all ever heard of this brand? So I'm going to be honest with you guys. For a $500 build, just having an SSD in it, I would have even been okay with using like a 2.5 inch SSD, even if it wasn't an NVMe drive. But I was able to find this for, so this is a 0.5 terabyte. I think it works out to about 20 bucks, which is cheaper than anything that I could find on Amazon. Otherwise, I would have just gone on Amazon. But yeah, this is a brand X-ray disc. So let's take a look at this thing. Does it have any of the specs on it? I'm pretty sure this is a PCIe Gen 3, which we have a B450 motherboard anyway, so I don't really care. Gen 3 speeds is plenty fine with me. But let's see, there's no documentation. But hey, take a look at this. It actually includes the little tiny M.2 screws. Sorry, I don't have like a reference to like show you guys. Like, that's why I'm always off center, because I have to look at my side screen to see if it is centered or not. But yeah, so there's the SSD. I wish my lighting was better up here. As I go up, I get out of the lamp range. But there's the SSD, 512 gigabytes for like 20 bucks brand new. I'll run like the benchmarks on it to see what the actual read-write speeds are versus the advertised. But again, like read-write, once you're on SSD, like boot times and load times in games for the most part isn't too different. It's just those raw like drive-to-drive transfers. Especially of bigger files is where you're going to see, budget drives perform worse. But for like loading into Windows and loading up a game, I've tested it from a 2.5 inch drive to Gen 3 to Gen 4. It is like unless you had a stopwatch, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Should have added a $2 clip on many. You're right. Actually, I could probably... Nah. Let me turn my screen so I can at least see it a little bit better. But, alright, motherboard. This is going to be a fun one. Because this is an AliExpress motherboard, which some people were making comments earlier in the chat about how this is not going to have an ARGB header, which I think is fine. Let's see. Are any of the parts I'm using, do they have to be... I could go for an ARGB-less build. Because the RAM doesn't have RGB. It's white RAM, but it doesn't have LEDs on it. And I could just use fan. I don't know if the case fans are RGB. I think they're solid white. So if I put a solid white fan on the CPU cooler, or get one with the solid white fan, then I should be good, you know, with no ARGB connector. But yeah, let's take a look. This is the Machinist. Wow, this is the most generic box. Oh my god. Wait. Look at this box. It doesn't say the chipset on here at all. Like, even on the backside, it just has a generic... It just has a generic motherboard. This is a box that they throw any motherboard in because... What was the model name of this? Maybe it'll say it on the inside. Let me open it up. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. I wonder if it's gonna be in English, the BIOS, when I first get into it. But what we do have here is a white, primarily white motherboards. How are these Machinist mobiles? I've been needing a cheap ITX mobile. Well, let's take a look. Just by taking a look at it, it doesn't even have, wow. It doesn't even have the CMOS battery. So that's not the best sign to start off with. If you look at the VRMs, there's no heatsink at all. They are just completely bare VRMs. We're looking at a 4-pin connector for the CPU, so that probably says how much you could potentially overclock on this motherboard, if at all. Or the you know, I think putting a 5600 in here would be fine, but putting in a higher end chip, there might be a problem. Let's see, is there an ARGB or RGB connector? Whoever said, I think it was Daniel in the chat who said there wasn't going to be one, you are correct. There is no type of RGB, whether it's 12 volt or 5 volt header on here at all. I mean, this is as basic of a motherboard as you could get, but it's white, and it was like $40 or something. It was like, it might have been less than $40 with the AliExpress coupon that I used. So for me, it just needs to run the chip, you know, run the graphics card, hook up to an SSD, and not, you know, fail prematurely at this price range. So, I mean, if you try to look for B450 motherboards, unless you're buying used, they're noticeably pricier on like Amazon or Newegg. I think, you know, they're in like $80-ish range. So getting it at half price, giving up some features, that's kind of to be expected. Did it come with Hello Kitty stickers? No Hello Kitty stickers. Nathan Tasker Force says, there is never a CMOS battery. KC Walls also says, there's no CMOS batteries against customs. But then some people said, Scott Maxfield says, the last two mobiles I bought off AliExpress both came with CMOS batteries on the board. So I think it depends on either the manufacturer or the seller. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, let me think about it. Customs, I feel like you can buy battery banks at... Have I bought anything else with batteries? I've bought things with built-in batteries, but if it has a removable battery, does it have to be removed? Maybe that's what the difference is. Yeah, like I've bought LED like tube lights and stuff that has of course has a battery in it. I don't remember if it came with a battery warning label, but yeah. So there's the motherboard. It says B450 AM4. Let me take a look real quick. Actually, I put it in the description. I put it in the description of this stream. The motherboard, but if we take a look at it. Oh, is my camera off on this? Hello, welcome home. Because it's, I forget to turn it back on because it's super cold. Can you close the door because the alarm's probably beeping, the fire alarm's probably chirping. This just says Machinist B450 motherboard. Yeah, so that's just what it is. It's not like Machinist is you know how usually there's like the brand and then the model, like MSI Tomahawk. This is just Machinist. It's not like the Machinist something or the something Machinist. It's just Machinist B450. That's all they have. Cool. Motherboard's little sketch, wouldn't be comfortable selling that. Yeah, I mean, if it needs like a VRM heatsink, I could just pull off one from like a dead motherboard or something and put it on. This would be interesting to test though, like if it throttles at all or anything like that. So that's all stuff that I'm definitely gonna be looking at when I test the system. Like, there's a reason why these boards are so cheap, but if they could serve the purpose of being a basic gaming machine without any like actual problems like crashing and stability, then for the price, you know, they'll do their job. But yeah, I'm not for putting together and cutting corners like gaming computers and then trying to flip them and sell it to like an unsuspecting buyer, you know. Like, I'm not about ripping people off. Most of these builds, they usually go to my friends and family anyway, so I try to take care of them. Like, don't worry about that. Are you able to update the BIOS on these boards in case the CPU won't work? Well, actually, that's a good question. If it doesn't work, I may have to come up with a different solution for it. I'm pretty confident that it's gonna work, but I totally overlooked that aspect. So if it doesn't work, I either have to find something probably local, like a B550, because I need to get one in time, or downgrade the CPU, both of which will still come within budget. But it says it supports it right here. Hopefully I don't have to go through some Chinese website. It says it supports it, so I would think that by now, for how long the 5000 series chips are, these manufacturers would put a BIOS version that works with it. It doesn't, yeah, it says it's, here's the thing though, what they say versus what is actually like the case may be different, but that would be a grounds for returning it, worst case scenario, right? Like, if I put the 5600 in there and it doesn't work, at least that's a valid complaint to get my money back and to return this thing. But yeah. Robert Fixit says, I don't want a phone call from my customer saying that it died. Yeah, selling a computer, like, especially when you use used components or old components, you could put yourself at the risk of people calling saying, hey, my computer failed like not even a year after you sold it to me, if you're the type of person who's going to take the calls and stuff like that. Some people, you know, they sell on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist or something, and I guess if you look at like even like Zach's, when he does his monthly drop, Zach's Tech Turf, when he sells his like whatever computers that he builds on the channel, right, at the start of the month, he sells them. Sometimes they're like lower end computers with older components in it. He says you're buying it kind of as is. There's no warranty or support for it. So that's just, you know, one of the risks that people have to understand as a buyer, that you could potentially get something that could fail in a year or two. But as a seller, you also have to be aware that you might have some unhappy customers coming for you if that's the case. So, I mean, I guess if you put the fine print that sold as is not, it's technically off of your hands, right? It's not your responsibility anymore. But Yeah, so that's the motherboard. Let's continue unboxing. Let me put this here. Get these things out of the way. I think the most exciting thing is going to be the case, so that's going to be last. This should be the RAM. Let me clear that off the screen. Hey, what's up, Mustard Pikachu? Casey Wallace says, I have ordered 30 AliExpress motherboards in the last 6 months, and they've all had the latest BIOS. What brands have you ordered, Casey? Or from what manufacturers / companies? Any machinist boards in the mix? Joe G says, I have sold like 15 builds on Facebook Marketplace using machinist mobos. Is the BIOS in English or is it in like Chinese? All right, we've got the white RAM. This is from a brand called Killisri. I forgot what speeds I got. I think this might just be 2666. It might, which isn't the end of the world. I'm trying to think why I didn't get faster memory speeds. Either it's because I think it might have been like noticeably more expensive for faster speeds. But let's take a look at these. So I went for the white. Oh no, okay. So these are 3200, but the latency's not the most ideal. It's CL22. So what's the math on that? What is the equivalent speeds on these? But let's take a look at what the other side looks like. Yeah, so these are pretty plain Jane, like really plain heat sinks on these. I could try to play with the timings, though I'm just gonna assume like these, a lot of the AliExpress stuff, I'm gonna assume what they're rated at is what they can run at stably. Like, I'm gonna assume these don't have much overclocking potential given, I forgot what these cost. Let me take a look. So these are, so it is 16 gigs. What was the cost of these? Where the heck is the RAM? Oh, there it is. Yeah, see, it was combined 4880. What did it come out with before? So 4320. Minus 13. Yeah, so these worked out to be like $18 for 16 gigs of RAM after the coupon. You can get DDR4 on Amazon. Yeah, you can get it for like 29 bucks, but these were like less than 20 bucks with the coupon. And wait, let's take a look. I remember when, no, RAM prices, I'm not sure if you guys have realized or seen, it's gone up. But let's take a look here. This was really close to being an all AliExpress PC build. The only reason it ended up not being that was because the power supply. There was no power supply that I actually felt comfortable getting there. So 16 gigabyte DDR4. It's 32. Yeah, so plain DDR would be like 32, 18. So I saved like 14 bucks, which for a lower budget builds, saving, let's see, what this would have been 32 to CL16 though. So a decent amount faster, but I went for the budget stuff. Here, let me go back to this. Yeah. I was trying to basically save as much as possible because we were going for the white aesthetic in this white build. But yeah, obviously like when I do a build and try to keep it under budget, I might make some questionable decisions for the sole fact of keeping it under whatever. But in real life, like if you have an extra $10, you could buy the Amazon RAM that, you know, faster speeds, and it comes faster in like 2 or 3 day shipping. When you do like a budget challenge, for me, I don't like going over budget. So if I do a $500 build, I don't like coming in at like $510, $515. But that's just me personally. I know some, like a lot of content creators, they just round, right? So if their build comes out to $515, they still call it a $500 build. I would rather come in under by a little bit than to come in over at all. But yeah, the memory being 3200 CL22, I don't think it's going to be a huge issue between the two. I feel like, have you guys watched like benchmarks? Especially we're not using like, what's it called? Like a RTX 4090 here. We're using, I got a 3060 Ti for the build. So the bottleneck isn't going to be in the RAM so much. There will be like FPS differences between if I use CL16 memory, but I don't think it's that much to make a big deal out of. The night's still young. Let's get to build. I'm not building this thing tonight because I still need to get the B-roll for it for the video, because it's going to be a video, right? So let's see. So here we go. We are at the final component, the case. Look at this dent. Can you guys see that dent in this? You probably can't see it that well, but there's a decent dent right here. Come on. The angle is weird, but yeah, there's a decent dent right here. So shaking it, there's no glass like shattered around. Yes, Casey Walls is the one who it was, how many streams ago was that? Like missions. Uh-oh, what happened? Did OBS crash? OBS, what is going on? Give me a second. Are we good? I think we're good. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. On YouTube side of thing, I wonder if my internet went out intermittently. Yeah, on YouTube, I had a spinning wheel. OBS was fine, but I think we're good. Yeah. Woof. Okay. So, yeah, let's get to unboxing this thing and checking it out. I mean, I've built with, you know, a Ryzen 5600 before. I've built with an RTX 3060 Ti. What I'm most excited about for this build is this case, to be honest. It's not the hardware. Like, I've played with, you know, all that hardware before. So, this case, though. Even though this came in at, what was it, like $42, and then whatever coupon savings, because I ordered this with multiple items, so this ended up being less than $40 with free shipping, even though it took a month to get to me. So I'm very excited to see the quality of this case. Look at this, man. Look at this high quality foam that they're using. This is like, I forget what. This isn't closed cell foam, right? Whatever it is, it's that stuff that compresses. It's not the stuff that just completely breaks and then makes a huge mess with little, like, particles everywhere. Wow. I am already impressed by the quality of foam on this case. And again, this was less than $40 out the door. Before tax, of course. But with shipping accounted for. Looks like a sewing machine. if anyone in the UK wants to get this case, it is sold on KZX1 or as the Ions KZX1. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Oh yeah, this case, man, I think I have to pick up some, so actually, I probably don't have to pick up fans because the CPU and GPU aren't gonna run necessarily that hot. Like, I'm sure if I ran this with only the cooler, the CPU cooler, and no case fans, it's not gonna throttle, it's not gonna like shut down or anything like that. But to promote more airflow, fans are cheap enough. I can grab them on Amazon. Probably get like a 3-pack for $12 or something of just plain white fans. I totally forgot to grab fans. We still have room in the budget because the GPU I got was cheaper than what I initially budgeted for. The GPU only came in at $200, and I think we budgeted like $250 for it. So there was room. But yeah, nice. It got here in one piece because they actually used good foam. Nice. Let's take this out of the bag. This is not acrylic. Oh wait, or is it? Feels like glass. I'm pretty sure this is tempered glass. Let's take a look at the listing. If we take a look at the listing of this thing, where is it at? Come on. Sorry, I have a bad memory. Tempered glass. I'm pretty sure on the stream 4 weeks ago when we were looking at it, we figured out it was tempered glass. Side pan, few more. Tempered glass. There you go. Yeah, so it is tempered glass. Even though when I'm tapping on it, like, I guess, I don't know. Can you tell by sound if it's glass or acrylic? It almost sounded like acrylic to me for some reason, but it's glass. Okay, let's look at, let's take a look at this. Ooh, okay. So the way that we take this apart is gonna be this thumb screw. Yo, these, okay, when you talk about cheap, like, budget cases, look at these thumb screws. Let me see if you can get a good look at it. But this is a nice thumb screw. I know I'm getting excited about some basic stuff like foam, but look at this. Most budget cases they either give you like that crappy plastic wrapped around like a, you know, typical non-thumb screw, or just like low quality stuff. This is nice. I'm saying this is a high quality thumb screw. Yeah. This case is already like blowing away my expectations a bit. Okay. So how does this thing come off? So I mean, I took those off, so I would guess this is, yep, it just slides open like this. This is what the hand, you see these thumbs, or not thumb screws, but these screws right here, these 4 screws. So this is what the handle is being held by. I guess depending on the final weight, I'm not sure how comfortable I would be holding this thing just by the handle, because it's not super reinforced. Like, there's no doubler, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't put any extra material here. It's literally these screws going through the mesh. And I mean, this is actually a decently thick panel. This doesn't have like look, I'm trying to flex it and stuff. It does not have like the flimsy wobble that you get in like the super cheap cases. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see once like everything is in the case. Are you just gonna go all fans on this case? Let's see. I mean, I might just try to find a 2-pack and put a fan right here in the front and one in the rear. I don't think it's really necessary to have a fan up top. I mean, just get one solid airflow path like this, is what I'm thinking. But yeah, here's a look at the rest of the case. Like, the power supply mounts up here. So that's going to be fun. And the way it works is that you plug this into your power supply, and the cable is routed to the back, and then you plug your power cable right here. Right here. So yeah, as you can see, this is a single chamber case. There is no back panel that you take off for cable management or anything like that. This is it. Everything is in this main chamber. So for cable management, oh god. The power supply I have is black. So I might have to try to like do that white vinyl stuff to blend it in. But the cables it's gonna have are black. And then I'm gonna run the extensions, which if you're looking at this already, you could probably tell there's gonna be what's it called? Restrictions with regards to how much space we have. Yeah, because if you look at the motherboard, it's gonna run this entire, it runs basically from top to bottom. There is no gap. And then the power supply goes right here, and that's gonna be huge. You're gonna have like very limited space, let's just say that. So that's gonna be fun to try to do. But yeah, here's the case. Honestly, this thing is clean. Aside from this potentially being a nightmare to build in because of the space constraints, solid button here. This thing looks good. Like in terms of like the finish and stuff. I would not have guessed this would have been a $40-ish or cheaper case, especially given that it has a handle and it's actually pretty decently thick metal. So. But there it is. There is all of the parts for the $500 build. They finally came in. I unboxed it. They look good so far. I don't know if... Hopefully I didn't get anything DOA with regards to the RAM or the CPU. I'm going to have to throw it into a system real quick. Not on stream, but after stream. To see if it works. Cut or 3D print a rectangle cover for the PSU. That's how I hid my cables. Interesting. Well, if you look at the... So, let's take a look at the... I can turn this camera off now. If we take a look at this... Where's the examples that they show? Does anyone have a full build in here? Like, picture-wise? Nope. Yeah, but where's the picture reviews? Here we go. Oh, come on. How are you going to show the picture? Oh, they did they did the LCD screen thing. But man, what's up with people posting pictures without the side panel off with good details? Anyways, so yeah, a typical power supply is going to be just this big, huge chunking thing right here. So you're saying print some kind of cover that goes right here. So that you don't see all these coming out, and then somehow also fit in the extension cables, also hidden in this tiny space, so that we could run it to the graphics card. And even see, that's the thing about this case, right? I can turn this camera back on, but that because there's no like running behind the motherboard tray, even running the cable over for CPU power, right? It's gonna go run over the top. Though I think the way that the side panel is kind of like framed, it might block that. So we'll see. Because this isn't a full tempered glass panel, it's like it's a cutout. There's a metal side panel cutout with tempered glass. So yeah. I wonder how well it would do with reverse fan setup. So intake from the back and exhaust. Intake from the back, exhaust out the front, flip the PSU to be exhaust. Let me see. Yeah, so I can see. So the fan, it depends on how much of the fan right here, how much of the area actually overlaps with this. This isn't a good picture. It might be that the fan actually doesn't overlap at all, like the fan blades. Maybe the frame of the fan might overlap, but I can't really tell. Like if you, no, that's not the, where's the picture with the, yeah. Oh, here we go. This is the picture I wanted. Wow, this person went all out on the fans. Why not go with small form factor full modular PSU in a $500 build? What? Small form factor automatically makes it like, even for a 500 watt, you're talking literally like $90 for a power supply. $500 build and small form factor like SFX power supply, I don't think they go in the same sentence for the most part. Yeah, maybe you can find a lucky deal or something, but that's, I don't have faith in myself finding that in my local area. I mean, a small form factor power supply would give you a lot more space, and modular would give you more space. But given how expensive power supplies have gotten in recent years, and you want to put an SFX one, I don't think that'll work. But yeah, if you look at this picture, I mean, the majority of the fan, even the portion that's pushing onto here, like the little bit at the top of the fan here, it's also meshing with like the casing. I don't know if it's gonna actually hit the open grill for the power supply fan. So, I mean, let's see, the exhaust going out the front versus the intake. I don't know how much of a difference it's gonna make. If anything, if I had to guess, just randomly guess, because the way that this is set up, the fan's gonna be pulling in from up here and out the front. Whatever is happening, whether the airflow goes this way or this way, I couldn't imagine it being a couple of degrees. If anything, I would think it depends on where you put your case. Like if you put your case at the back of your desk where it's near a wall, that might choke the intake a little bit more, but yeah, I don't know. I can't foresee this being a huge difference. No, thoughts on the 6700 XT in 2024? Still a great graphics card. You should be aiming to get it for like $250 or less though. It was on sale for $280 during Prime days, but try to get it used. You might be able to get it even for like $240. You're gonna have to get that low profile 3060? No. I got a 2-fan EVGA 3060. It'll fit. It doesn't have to be low profile. You guys are actually going to see a video this coming weekend of the pickup of this, actually. But yeah, look at this card. This thing is tiny. This is definitely going to fit. When I went and picked up this card, I bought it from a miner who literally had hundreds of cards. I made sure to get a compact 2-fan version. He also had the MSI Gaming X dual fan, which it might have fit, but I didn't want to risk it. It's a nicer card, but yeah, he had this one and EVGA, right? Like because they're not around anymore, maybe the EVGA cards will, for whatever reason, go up in value more so than other ones. So yeah, so I got this. I'm gonna spray paint it, like I mentioned in the previous streams, because just finding a white card for this price range was way too difficult. So yeah, this will fit for sure. RIP EVGA, exactly. 6750 XT is the same price as 6700 XT. Yeah, if there's the same price, get the 6750 XT. If you buy used though, you just gonna, between the two, you just take whatever you can get in the used market, right? Cheapest SFX fully modular is $100 with free shipping. Let's take a look at the SFX PSU market on Amazon. And that's gonna be what, a 450 watt or something? Oh, wait. A Pivia has one that doesn't look modular, but this is a Pivia. I don't know if you're gonna... Yeah, so not modular. This is 500 watts. When I was mentioning SFX power supplies being at least like 80 or 90 bucks, I meant like at a minimum C tier power supply, not unknown mysterious Apevia ones. Let me specify. Here's an FSP one for 80 bucks for 450 watts, which should work. That'll be pretty close, but it should work with the 5600 and a 3060 Ti. But still, 80 bucks solely for a power supply in a $500 build, that just doesn't make sense to me personally. Like, unless I was pushing for a ITX specific build, spending that much of the budget, nearly a fifth of the budget on the power supply, just so that you don't have to deal with cables, as opposed to spending it on actual performance components. To me, that doesn't make sense. But what's your personal best build time for a gaming PC? If you're building a basic PC with not much RGB, like just straight up, and you're not adding many fans aside from the ones that comes in a case, I don't know, probably like 30 to 40 minutes. Building on a stream is completely different. Like when I'm just building, and when I'm not recording too, I build fast. But when I'm like recording, trying to get footage for a build, or doing a build on stream, it definitely makes the build time go up to like an hour and a half. But yeah, just straight up like building without any other thing in mind, it's usually like, I would say around 30 minutes. I think what takes the longest is unboxing everything, taking off wrappers, undoing like Velcro ties and stuff, etc. And then also fastening, like getting all like 9 motherboard screws in or whatever, fastening on like any fans. That's what takes the longest. Like clicking parts into their slots does not take that long. If somebody wants a white GPU, the Yeston 760 750 GRE is $280 from their website. Yeah, we were looking at the Yeston GRE for not this build, because no way it's going to fit into a $500 build, but for a different build that I'm doing for a friend of mine, and that didn't work. I was thinking about Plasti Dip instead of painting for a white card. See, we've talked about this on the stream before too. This is what it looks like to remove Plasti Dip. Let me see. Easily remove Plasti Dip. I'm trying to find like on a smaller item, or like one with more like curvature and stuff. I guess the wheel might be the best example. How to remove Plasti Dip when it's unpeelable. So this one is actually not that bad. I've seen worse examples where removing Plasti Dip is actually more annoying. Easy way to remove Plasti Dip. Is this on a big panel? I guess this example is what, like, you know, like when you're peeling your skin after getting sunburn and it just keeps on ripping in small segments and stuff like that. That's what I imagine trying to remove on a more intricate, especially like if you're Plasti Dipping the fans, which for the EVGA card is textured, and there's like curvature and texture on it. So this person is using Goo Gone. I get the appeal of Plasti Dip, because if you want to change your mind, you could technically peel it off. Oh, here's one. Plasti Dipping car logos is what people typically do, but are they going to show the peeling process? Okay, so there's the Plasti Dip. It also, does Plasti Dip have more texture than paint? Come on, show the peeling of it. Oh, maybe they'll show the peeling of the stuff on the outside. Yeah, the finish on it, to me, doesn't look as good as paint. It's got way more orange peel. And I'm pretty sure this was smooth to begin with. But he could have oversprayed, you know. There's also spraying technique that you take into it. It's easier if you use a heat gun. Huh, should I plasti dip this white card? I don't mind this permanently being a white card. Like, I don't mind spray painting it, but should I plasti dip it instead? For anyone who has extensive experience using plasti dip, what are your thoughts? I honestly don't care about turning it back into a black card. So remove that as one of the pros. With regards to like the final finish and texture, spray paint versus plasti dip, what do you think would look better? Because we are going for that. More so than, yeah, I don't care if this doesn't need to return. And you could just use paint remover, paint thinner, etc. But that could damage the plastic, so I don't know. No, just use spray paint with airbrush. Paint looks better. Vinyl, I don't know if you, dude, vinyl on, look at these fan blades. There's no way you're going to be able to get vinyl on there nicely conform to that. As well as the sections of this card that has like these bumps and stuff. Plus vinyling, like these holes, trying to vinyl and then cut out each of these small holes on here. I guess if you care about that. If you don't, then you can just keep the holes covered. But yeah, I was thinking people change the color of the TA rocker emblem that way. Nah, once you go black, you'll never go back. If it ain't, then don't try to fix it. I may try that on a 570. This card is tiny. So here's the one thing that I was trying to figure out if I should do or not. You see this? So this EVGA, this like emblem, this EVGA GeForce RTX thing, this is like a separate plastic section, as you could probably see. It's more reflective, but there's no light that shines through it. Like there's no LEDs on the back of it. This is solely just like a, you know, printed emblem. I'm trying to think, should I paint this whole card white or should I tape this section off? Because this side profile view of it, if I did paint this off and only had this small section here and a little bit here white, I think that might look weird. So I was just thinking about just painting it all white, but I haven't decided fully yet. Pro tip with that case, just run the CPU cable under the motherboard. Dude, it depends, right? Because we have the extension. I guess it wouldn't even, like, do I need to put the extension cables on the top left corner for the CPU cable? Because you barely even see it. If it were coming out of underneath the motherboard, you're going to see like less than an inch of it. You'll just see the connector. So I may not need to use cable extensions on that. If the side parts have the plastic, yeah, that's a good point. Does this have the plastic peel? Let me see. I think it does. Yeah, the old owner, there is a plastic peel on here. So you're right. On both of these, I should be able to spray paint it and then peel it off afterwards. But I think it'll still look weird. So also I was thinking for this, should I spray the entire thing white or tape off along this red line and leave the red and the GeForce RTX black and have the back part here white? So it's one of those things like, do I want this to be a all white card or have it kind of like with some black accents left on it? I would put the same black logo back with black text to make it super legit. Making it 100% white is not as professional. Yeah, because then you don't have any of the markings, right? It's just like, it looks like a white generic card that is potentially sold on AliExpress as like one of those scam cards, right? Where there's no badging, there's no branding, etc. It looks almost fake if you cover everything. So, I'm gonna have to think about this a little bit more. EVGA doesn't make GPUs anymore. I would leave the logos alone. That is a good point too. So I'm thinking if that's the case, we keep these taped off, as well as here I tape along this line with the like curvature, and then do this white so that you have some black here, and it's kind of mixed. But I don't know. I'll think about it more and then see what vision comes to me. Maybe you should have purchased a black case. That's why I primarily build in black cases. Trying to do white and then painting or paying a premium for graphics cards that are white and motherboards that are white, it's like kind of a pain. But whatever. I think, you know, it's fun. If it comes out looking like crap, that I'm just gonna complain about it and then say that's why I stick to black builds. Like, there are easier ways to do black builds when you have, or white builds when you have more of a budget. Like when you could just straight up buy the new Asus dual white card. When you could just buy just straight up everything brand new. And when you're working with a bigger case too, right? Where you have a dual chamber or a power supply basement. Like, I'm trying to do a white build in this case that has a single chamber with very limited room. This ended up being a challenge, if anything. Be radical, paint everything beige. Yeah, right. Yes, the paint also has to go in the budget spreadsheet. The good thing is that paint costs like $7 or $8. So it's pretty cheap. Like, it's easier to add more. Yeah. So when painting, definitely. I saw this video which is like I think I don't want to like put down the creator, but if you're gonna make a video about something, I think you should put more effort into it. Is this the video? And the thing is, they sanded it. I'm not going to sand it. I'm just going to buy that matte primer and paint mix. Yeah, I think so. They primered this and painted it. So like they go through the effort of taping things off. They're using like different grit sandpaper, right? And then they spray paint it. Look at the spray paint job. Are you kidding me? Look at that spray paint job. You went through the effort of sanding your fans and everything. And then this is how you're gonna spray paint it? Bruh. There's orange peel and then there's like whatever this is. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I am very aware of the fact that when you spray paint, you need to do light, even coats. It's gonna take hours. The last time I spray painted PC parts, I did it over the course of days. No, the paint will stick. You don't have to sand it. Plenty of people don't sand it. You just gotta make sure the surface is clean, and that you use like a paint and primer mix, and you do light coats. You don't have to sand it. I have painted multiple PC parts before without sanding, and it came out fine. The Incredible Hulk build didn't sand a single thing on there. And the paint quality was fine. It didn't chip. It wasn't like, you know, loose and falling off or anything like that. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't take the stickers off. That's interesting. The thing is, sanding, unless you're super meticulous about it, which I'm not willing to put in like literal hours of sanding, when you sand, you have to sand it like evenly too. You can't like not sand enough on one part and then sand more of another, otherwise texture is going to show up. It's a lot easier just to leave it unsanded, but clean it of all the oils and grease or whatever the heck crap on it, and then use like a paint and primer mix. It works fine. You just gotta go light about it. If anything, I think sanding just complicates it way more, especially when you have curvature here, especially with my graphics card, right? Like, you've seen these EVGA fans, right? They have texture. Sanding this, sanding these little bumps on the fans, sanding this section, sanding this backside, which has like, you know, well, sanding back here is not going to be too bad. But yeah, it's mostly this side. sanding would make it a pain in the butt. But this is what I aspire not to do. Again, not trying to archetype origins. I've not heard of this channel, but I'm not trying to end up with something like this when I spray paint it. Yeah, you can even see 36 hour. Oh, they did paint. They did tape it off. Ugh. Bro. Like those types of imperfections, these are like my worst fears when it comes to trying to paint your own. Like, granted, this side will be facing down, so people aren't going to really see it, but still. Ugh, look at that paint seepage on into the sticker. And then they're kind of like trying to scrape away stuff. I don't know. This is... Oh, and then you're using a... Oh, is that a plastic brush? Okay. Oh my goodness. Look at the texture on this paint job. There's bumps everywhere on this. That too, the tape, it seeped under. Look at that. It's not a clean line anyways. I'm getting stressed out already thinking about painting this. I should be fine. Usually when I do arts and craftsy type stuff, like I'm careful and meticulous enough that it comes out looking fine. But still, painting is one of those things that's like, once you start, you can't really go back. Sure, you can use paint thinners and stuff like that, but that becomes a whole nother headache. Maybe this is a how not to paint a GPU video. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Painting fan blades will kill aerodynamics. Honestly, I don't think... When you say aerodynamics, I think you mean more of like the stability, right? Because the fan blades... They were engineered to spin with like perfect balance. Aerodynamics wise, like how much air they scoop, I don't think it's going to change. But balance wise, yes, balance is an important thing when it comes to fans. As long as you paint small, thin layers and make it even, I think it's negligible. Sure, if you put it on like a perfect scale or balance or something, you could find that, oh, one fan blade got a little bit more paint than the other. But in the grand scheme of things, I think you're putting on a thin enough layer of paint that I don't think it's going to make a noticeable difference. We'll see after I paint it, right? Or even if it makes a difference, if it makes it run 1 degree hotter, to me, that's also pretty negligible. So long as the card isn't running like hot, right? Like if it's still in like the 70s, I'll be happy with the end result. Might be better off trying to find a white GPU fan replacement kit if the budget allows it. No, it doesn't allow it. Factoring in having to buy extra fans for the case, now factoring paint, it's not gonna... I'll go over. It's fine. If I mess something up after the video, I could buy the replacement fan kits and fix it up. But for the video, if it ends up messing up, then that's part of the video. Like, that's part of the $500 budget. That's part of the risk, right? Painting and getting a crappy looking end product is part of the risk. This isn't a Boeing 747, lol. Wait, what's wrong with the 747? The 747 is like one of their most iconic, I think pretty problem free, right? I don't know of many like huge problems with the 747. It's been around for a long time. Double decker. Eric, 2 weeks with my staple chairs. Great upgrade to the old beat up computer chair. Definitely recommend. Yes, go get yourself your Staples Dexley if you guys have crappy chairs and are on a budget. Are you gonna build? No, we're not building tonight. We only unboxed it. I need to take separate B-roll footage of all the parts and stuff like that. And I don't have all the parts in. Like I need to, because I totally forgot that I needed extra fans. I need to find some white fans on Amazon to order. So yeah, we are not building tonight. What about 3D printing the parts? I'm not going to 3D print parts. I think 3D printing stuff and then including it into the budget, even if you only factor in for the account, for the resin that you use, is cheating. Like, let's say you're saying you're building a PC and then you 3D print the entire case and you only charge yourself like $5 worth of resin or however much material it costs. I think that's kind of cheating because you have a tool that not the average person doesn't have. And if you're doing a build guide specifically, like, you're going to assume everybody has a 3D printer and only charge yourself $5 for the case. Like, I don't know. 3D printing like a lot of components and stuff and then just charging yourself cents to the dollar on it. I'm not a fan of that when content creators do that. Showing us the pre-build and doing us dirty. Hey, the title never said anything about building a PC. It said unboxing. And I mainly needed to unbox to make sure everything arrived, the correct things arrived, and to make sure there's no major problems for the return window. What are your thoughts on the X99 motherboard, Xeon? I was looking at that on AliExpress. Let me see if I can bring it up. I'm glad you... let me see if I have it on... There was a really cheap bundle for it. Actually, I can just... I thought I saw one with the 2650B for X99 bundle. Let's see if we can pull it up here. Okay. That's not the one I wanted to find. Here. See if I can simplify it. I actually had one in my cart. Can we sort by lowest price? I saw one for like 40 something bucks. Let me see if I can bring it up. Dang it. Was it the 2640? Is it this, let me see. Motherboard, CPU. Was there ones cheaper than this though? So this comes with a 1x16 DDR3. No, this is DDR4. Xeon 2640. So you get RAM, CPU, and motherboard for 73 bucks. Was there a better deal on this one though? So you're looking at a Killsbury one. Let me see if I can find it. Killsbury. Am I spelling it wrong? Is it? Oh, there's no I. Sorry. Alright, let's sort by lowest price on here. Okay. God, AliExpress and your broken filtering. So I can't sort by lowest price, but let me see. Looking through the combos. Like, here's a combo. You're saying V4 though, right? So there's the V3 ones are 70 bucks. The V4 ones are looking like... Oh no, these ones are cheap too. And this is a 2x8. Okay. So this one's 66 bucks. Is this the cheapest one? It's looking like, what's this one? This one's V3, okay, and it's not even cheaper. So something like this. Here, I need to look up this CPU specs again. What are we looking at here? So we're looking at 2016, 10 cores, 20 threads, turbos up to 3.4, 2.4 base. So what would the equivalent of this be? 90 watt TDP. So yeah, you get tons of cores and threads. You're getting, what would the, so products formerly Broadwell, but this is 2016. What would this be the equivalent to? I'm trying to think. 3.424 2016 Broadwell. Let me take a look at their more consumer line. The recommended pricing, what was it on it? $939, right? Now part of a $66 combo. Let's see if I can find just any like benchmarks of this thing. Dude, I don't know Xeon like a relative performance off the top of my head. We need to look at something for reference. Okay. What are we looking at here? So here's a CPU Z benchmark. Okay. So let's take a look at a modern day, or not even modern day. Let's look at a 3600. We're just working with, like, if there was a Cinebench result or something, I would, actually, let's see if there's a Cinebench run. We want to see the single and multi-core run. Do they have both here? They only have the multi-core, which isn't as useful because this thing has 20 threads. So of course it's gonna kill. But if you're using this to game, we need to see that single Cinebench R15. This is also a multi-core score, according to the thumbnail. I'm thinking of pairing it with the RX 6600. It might bottleneck it for gaming, to be honest. So 1369 R15. Okay. Let's just look at the, I'm just trying to see what it would be about equivalent to in Cinebench R15, Ryzen 3600. Okay, single is 202, then 1653. See, even a 6-core 12-threaded 3600 comes out higher than this. So I'm just trying to give a frame of reference in the multi and single core performance. So multi-core, this thing comes in just based on like the results I'm finding online, right? I don't know what they're overclocking and stuff, but this is weaker in multi-core based on what I'm seeing than a 3600, which is not too great given that it has like more than 1.5 times the cores and threads. I'm trying to find the single core score because that's what's going to really tell you how far behind it is when you try to game with it. The Xeons I have used, older ones. No, I mean all Xeons for their time. Like for, if you're going to compare it to other 2016 processors, its strengths were in the amount of cores and threads it has and the multi-core performance, or multi-core performance, not in the single core. I can't believe this is this hard to find single core performance. Like, seriously? Aside from this CPU Z? No, this isn't even it. This is a 1300K. There are 2600, the 7700K is the closest. Yeah. Now, okay, thanks. I'm not sure if I missed you saying that earlier, but if it's closest to like a 7700K, you gotta ask yourself, I guess, let's take a look at the price again. What is the price? 66 bucks. Would you be okay with buying a CPU, motherboard, RAM combo if you're looking at like more consumer-ended products if it had a 7700 or 7700K in it. Like, that's how far back we're going. What year was that? 2016, 2017, right? That's the performance level you're looking at. Except, the issue with the 7700K was that it was, how many cores and threads did that have? So, yeah, 4 cores, 8 threads. But the multi-core performance is going to be better with the Xeon. The 7700K is $70 on eBay. But yeah, nobody's buying that from eBay. For $70, you could get I bought the 5600 for like $80 before coupon. You could definitely find probably Ryzen 5600s for like $70 on like your local listings. How much on eBay? How much are Ryzen 5600s? Are these still pretty expensive? This is why we go to AliExpress for Ryzen processors. Let's see. Yeah, so the cheapest one here, $80. But that's still worth paying 10 extra bucks for over a 7700K. Performance-wise and platform-wise. You do not want to be locking yourself to what was the chipset for that? LGA, blah, 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 blah. What was it? Oh, 1151. Hey, what's up, Shauner? Super late. What's up? What up? How you doing? We unboxed some stuff tonight. Now we're just kind of chilling, looking at other AliExpress specials. This is not this one, but I had a Xeon motherboard RAM combo sitting in my cart for a while. Are these gonna drop in price anymore? Because I don't think I have time to build one of these in the next month or two. So I don't think the prices of these have really moved much, right? For the longest time, they've been like sub $70 for these combos. So I guess if anything, I should order it sooner rather than later, because it's gonna take a month potentially to get to me. But let's see, with this, then you need a power supply, which could be like $30, bringing it up to like around 100. Then you need a graphics card. You could probably put like a RX 580 in here for like $40. Like, this is $200, $250, $200 PC build material. The funny thing is, like, you're going to be spending more on, because if you work out the math on this, RAM's what, $20 of this, CPU's probably like another 20, and then motherboard's like 20. CPU might be like 25. You are going to be spending more on your power supply, your case, your storage. You're going to be spending more on all of that than you did for your motherboard or CPU, which is kind of backwards. You do get the hyper-threading. That is true. Well, that's what the 10 cores, 20 threads alludes to, right? Not on this one. What am I saying? Yeah, so both the 7700K and the Xeon, yeah, you get hyper-threading. Which, if it didn't, it would say like 10 cores, 10 threads. Just buy a HP Z440, but then you don't get to choose your own case. How much is a Z440? That's like, should be sub 100, right? No CPU or RAM. Okay, so we need to find the ones actually. Do they have the ones with the 2640 in them? Oh, what the heck? This is the lowest price one. Only yeah, driver support. I've never found that to be that much of an issue. Like, I've tested really old graphics cards before, and I never had a problem, except for like when it doesn't support specific DirectX versions and stuff. That's the only problem I've run into. But in terms of driver support, like using the 10-year-old GTX 970 or even using older cards than that, I've never had a problem with them like running even like straight up 2024 titles, aside from like DirectX compatibility. But drivers themselves, even if they're not getting game day one game ready drivers and stuff like that, they still work just fine. Also, I would say that for me, if I'm building a like $200 to $250 gaming PC, I wouldn't expect the graphics card. Like, what card could you realistically fit in that budget that isn't gonna be in the age range, that isn't gonna basically be out of driver support time frame? And again, I think it's fine. I'm trying to think. What is the oldest graphics cards I've tested recently? When did the GTX 970 official drivers? Can I find an answer? The 700, like 900. Did driver support end for the 900 series already? I forget. The final driver release. No. Final, like, how do I find this? I guess I could try to download the drivers, but it's gonna give me here. So drivers, what is the latest? 900 still supported. And that's what, 10 years old? How old's RX 580 now? That's like 9 years old, right? Age. I'm dumb. Why did I say age? I meant release date. 2017. Oh, okay. That's only 7 years old. What card would... 700 series, right? The final game-ready driver for Kepler GPUs will land in 2021. Okay, August 2021. I need to do a video. I have a GTX 770. I need to do a video on that. Let me make a note, because that'll be an interesting talking point for the video. 770 driver support. Performance video. Okay. If you try to download the 700 series though, let's see, 770, let's just say for example, security update driver, okay. So, even though they ended driver support, the suite in which they, like, the drivers, let's see, can we go back even older? The drivers, quote unquote, that you download from NVIDIA, the release date is gonna be like, whatever modern day, but yeah, what can I actually go to? They don't even, where's the history? I gotta go to the other version of the website, huh? Would Linux make more sense if all you play is older single player games? Those get good driver support. Isn't that gonna be dependent on the game though, if it even works? Did I make a game list that it has to support with at least 60 FPS? No. For the build I'm doing, no. I think, I mean, given that it has a 3060 Ti and 5600 in it, it's gonna be able to run a lot of things at over 60 FPS. I tested a GTX 780. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this is a common problem. GTX 780 at 1080p. Oh, this is Worms Gaming. So you could trust Worms Gaming. Did they have to do anything special with regards to like drivers or anything like that? Does it... Okay, so you can see this is real benchmarks. GTX 780. It's identified in the settings. It's playing... What are the settings though? He put at low settings. Well, he tests low, medium, and high. But I guess at low... I'm guessing this is low settings at first. Yeah, it says low right there. 86. We don't know what the 1% lows are, but whatever. It's running in like the 70s to 80s. And then now here's what looks to be probably medium settings. Yeah, normal, aka medium. It's running just sub 60 FPS. Oh, this is 4 years ago? Yeah, you're right. Sorry, this is wrong Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 3. Nobody's testing this? Now I gotta test this now. Here we go. Modern Warfare 3. This is 8 months ago. This is a 4070 Ti. Geez. So nobody is actually playing this. Maybe we have to look at Reddit threads. 3 GTX 780. 780 in 2020. 780 good enough to run. Tried running 4 years ago. I guess, yeah, I could try to filter by date. This year. Did anyone try to play? Nope, that's a GTX 960. Here's the 780 Ti. Trying to game in 2024. What games do they test? Fortnite, of course. Jonathan M with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Is it worth upgrading from a Corsair for? No. No. I don't like the 5000D. No. Are you okay with having a bigger case? I think the 4000D is like the perfect size. When I think of a mid tower, it's like 4000D is like the poster child. Maybe something a little smaller even, but like the 5000D is a big case. I'm personally not a fan of it. Your build is in it and it works. Why do you like want to spend more money and have to go through the hassle of transferring everything over is what I'm thinking. Even though it's tight in some areas, isn't it already like, didn't you already build in it and install everything? Are you trying to like add more to it? I guess if you're trying to add, I don't know, like bigger coolers or something, or I don't know, more like what could you add? If you're keeping like the same motherboard and everything, and you're putting it into a 5000D instead, what else could you be adding to give yourself more room on? Like more fans? There's more room for fans, I guess, which I don't know what your build is, but I feel like the 4000D is already a really good, like in terms of like cooling performance case. Yeah, different size AIOs and fans is all I can think of But unless you're having temperature issues, you're spending more money on the new case, and then you're going through the hassle of undoing everything to move it over. Well, I don't know. If the 4000D works for you, then I would just keep it personally. I'm not a fan of buying, because how much does the 5000D cost? It's 124, and I think the 4000D usually goes for like 90 or something, right? But you already bought the 4000D and your PC's in it, because you said it's kind of tight fitting. So spending an additional 125, I guess you could sell off the 4000D, but even then, for me, too much hassle, not worth it. But yeah, and then it goes down on sale to $40. So I would say no, but then again, I lean on the side of save money. If something's not broken, don't fix it. Like, if you were asking to buy another SSD or like a better GPU or something, then I would be like, yeah, because you actually net like performance gains that are noticeable. But transferring it from case to case, again, without knowing the full details, but I could probably guess you're not going to get higher FPS unless you're like straight up thermal throttling with your current setup, you know? Sounds good. I stick to the 4000D. Well, thank you for donating the $5 super chat. Hopefully my advice for you to save $130 on a 5000D was worth the exchange. Let's see. Oh, Shauner, I wanted to ask you something. So you're the deals chef, right? Over on Zach's server, and there's like the cartoon of you with your spatula and the pan, the cooking pan, right? How long have you had that nickname? Because I'm seeing more of your deals than like Dr. Deals posts over there. I don't know if like you replaced him, if Dr. Deals, because he was like in med school or whatever, right? Is he like too busy now being an actual doctor or residency? But when did you get that nickname? And was Deal Hunter never in the running with like a picture of you with like a rifle or something? Because you actually hunt like in the wilderness. So for me, Deal Hunter would have made like complete 100% sense with an image of you with like, I don't know, with a rifle and maybe some dollar bills or something raining down. That would have made more sense than Deal Chef, unless there's some inside joke that I didn't know about you being like a chef also, or like liking cooking or something. But yeah, just knowing your background with like hunting and stuff in Colorado, and like, you know, hunting like what, elk and deer and stuff like that. Deal Hunter, for me, not only plays to that side of, you know, your life, but also, you know, we're all deal hunters out here, so. Doc retired like a year and a half ago. Okay. And we did a rebrand in like February. I am a grill. Oh, okay. I forgot at work. Okay. But yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe run that by Zach. Deal Hunter. I mean, we say we deal hunt, right? So that makes sense on that front. But also, I feel like you being a hunter is like pretty badass. So when I saw that, my mind came to it. I was like, man, what? I think Deal Hunter would have been the go-to, but you've been the deal chef over there, so yeah, I don't know, maybe run it by Zach. Tell him also that this wasn't me trying to step on his or whoever's toes that designed it. It was just the first thing that popped in my mind. So deal poacher. Deal extinct or endangered animal or endangered poacher. But Deal Hunter has been used so much. I mean, Deal Hunting has been used. I don't know Deal Hunter specifically. I guess you could say it's not as unique, but in the context of Shauner, him being an actual like hunter, I think it made sense in my mind. But what time is it? Okay, we're 2 hours past stream. I'm starving, so we're gonna spend like the next 5 to 10 minutes just chilling in chat. But yeah. Oh, also, somebody asked me about the screwdriver. Somebody asked me about the screwdriver, and we unboxed this last week. You know, the LTT knockoff, or not the knockoff, but like the supposed just as good as LTT screwdriver for much cheaper, and then it ended up having like so much slop in the shaft. So when I tried to, because I bought this for $6, so obviously like at $6 for a, what's it called, ratcheting screwdriver, it's worth it. But people asked me about it, and it's gone from Amazon, but I found yesterday, because I went looking again, it's not that the link is bad. This is, Amazon Basics has a version, which is, it was really strange that all of a sudden this came up in my search, but not, my version is called the solid, like my version, come on, camera, I need you to zoom, or like focus, like right now. I need you to focus, please. So mine is the solid work version, which does not exist on Amazon anymore. But if you look at the design, like look at the the pop out, which I did note that I do like how it's on a spring and it just pops out like that. Like that's pretty nice. But also look at the design, right? That is this exact screwdriver. Now this one's $13. I would say at even $13 though, this is, even with the slightly wobbly shaft, I might have gotten you know, one that was like bad. And maybe they don't typically have wobbly shafts. I mean, less than $15 for, you know, bit storage and a ratcheting screwdriver, this is still kind of hard to complain about. So yeah, if you guys were wondering, this screwdriver is now, you know, the Amazon Basics screwdriver. I don't know where the SolidWorks one went. It's just gone. From SolidWorks ratchet screwdriver, unless they like brought the list. Yeah, it just doesn't exist anymore. I mean, to be fair, there are tons of ratcheting screwdrivers for like, you know, under $20. Like this one's $10 with bit storage. What you want to be careful about, depending on your uses though, when you're buying a ratcheting screwdriver, is how long the shaft is. You see this one? This one has like a pretty short shaft, and then you get into the bulk of it. This could be like issues in terms of clearance, depending on how tight of spaces you're trying to get this in, right? So ones like the LTT screwdriver, or ones like this, you have like this long shaft, and you don't get the bulky section for, I don't know how long this is, like probably like 4 or 5 inches. So yeah, just be careful what types of ratcheting screwdrivers you buy in your use case. That might be an important factor of it. But yeah. I'm rocking a Craftsman ratcheting, which extends longer and comes with a magnet for the lost screws. I think I saw that one. Those are like $30 on Amazon, right? Unless Craftsman has multiple ratcheting screwdrivers. Solid protection. I did realize I was talking about tight spaces and shafts quite a bit while talking about these. The Cobalt ratcheting screwdriver is pretty good from Lowe's. I have that one. My mom works at Lowe's, so she bought me that one. Let me see if I can bring it up. Or do I have it? I think, let me see. She got me it for Christmas. Where is it? This one. She got, the thing about this is one of the short shaft ones. If Lowe's wants to load up. But yeah, I have this one. Let me see if, I like collecting ratcheting screwdrivers. But I think that one might be in one of my other toolboxes, or somewhere else. So I bought this one. I think I showed this on stream, but the ratchet mechanism on this broke. So this is cheap crap, or I got a defective one. But I like this one because you see these notches in the shaft. You can adjust the height and it locks in. So you can make it like this short, or you can essentially, because it has these groove marks in it, extend the length. But the only bad thing about this one is that it has only 2 heads. It's got a flat head and a pretty thick Phillips head. So you can't really do like precision stuff that has smaller screws on it. So yeah, that's just one of the, and the fact that, you know, this thing broke in like after a year of me using it. But yeah, the Cobalt one's pretty nice. Avery says, hey, it's Avery. I posted a new setup picking builds. Oh, build, dude, I have not. Okay. You know what? I'm going to put a note to myself, because I actually got to go in like a few minutes. But next stream, we're going to be looking at the builds and setup showcases that people have posted, because I haven't looked at those in a long time. So there's probably a number of them to look at. But thank you for reminding me about that, Avery. I would definitely check that out. Unfortunately, I won't have time to tonight, but I will give that my full attention next stream at the start of it. I'm going to get the Amazon Basics one. I'll report back. Yeah, I mean, if you buy it, make it like your daily use screwdriver. I have like too many that I rotate between. So it's hard for me to give like a true, like an accurate assessment of how long this thing will last, because I don't use this to do everything. I switch between my different screwdrivers all the time. So it's not like this is the one that I use for a whole year straight, you know? So it doesn't get as much use as someone who isn't into collecting ratcheting screwdrivers, I guess. What time is it? It's 7:12 Pacific time. So add however many hours depending on what coast you live on. I don't have an LTT one, so that's good. I mean, here's the thing. LTT one is expensive, but it is nice. Like, the switching, the ratcheting direction, the ratcheting itself, it's like so smooth. Some of these other ones, they do lock up when you try to go from clockwise to counterclockwise. Like this one in particular, it's not the end of the world, because it takes like an extra second to fix it. But like, let's say I'm just going in this direction, and I'm trying to turn this wheel to go in the other. The shaft, like, look, I can't turn it. So then I gotta, like... It's kind of like when you're trying to get in gear in a car. Sometimes you have to, like, play with the clutch a little bit and then, like, wiggle your shift knob and stuff. Oh my god, did I just break the ratcheting mechanism on this? What is going on? Why is this thing not ratcheting? It's got this thing that if it's like stuck between a half turn, then the gear could get, here we go. There we go. See what I'm saying? So I'm turning counterclockwise. I'm going to try to turn the direction. What's up with this knob? If I can get this thing to go into gear. Lovely. Maybe this isn't worth the $13 it's going for. Because it is actually seizing up quite a bit. What the heck? It wasn't doing this when I was doing it on stream as much last week. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I got it now. I might have just been turning it the wrong way. So we're turning it counterclockwise there. And then now we're trying to turn it so that it goes the opposite direction. And lovely! It's getting caught in like the half gear. So it's not letting me change the direction. Okay, I gotta get this fixed. I don't know if this needs oil or something, but there you go. I paid $6 for it, so I'm not gonna complain too much. But maybe be cautious and consider returning it if your unit has the same issue as mine. Yeah, I cannot get it to go the other way. Whoever on that Slick Deals page said that this was the equivalent of the LTT screwdriver, boy were they wrong. I burned the clutch. And now you know why you don't buy cheap. Alright, to be fair, the Cobalt one was cheap, and that one has served me actually for multiple years now, because my mom got me that for Christmas, like, I don't know how many years ago by this point. Amazon Basics. What are you doing here? Here we go. Finally, I finally got it to twist the other direction. So let me play with this. So it's going that, so I'm twisting it this direction. And then going back works fine. Okay, now let me keep switching back and forth. So now it's good. I swear, it's like a tolerance thing. That whatever the gear is in there, like, if it gets knocked a little bit out of place, that might have been it. But now it's working fine. It's going both directions. I mean, you hear that? That's me. Like, here, I'm going to grab it by the shaft. That's how much play there is. I guess, let me check the LTT screwdriver. LTT screwdriver is definitely more sturdy. I'm shaking it about the same amount. Versus, I think it's a pretty big difference, right? Cheap stuff ain't good, and good stuff ain't cheap. I think that's true to some degree. There are some things where you can just buy the cheap stuff. Like if I'm buying thermal pads, I'm buying them from AliExpress. I'm not paying the premium for whatever brand name thermal pad for like an SSD or something from Amazon. Honestly, some of the cheap branded thermal paste from AliExpress, which are like $1 for a gigantic syringe tube, works pretty darn good too, compared to, like, I don't know, Arctic Silver or Arctic and stuff like that. Budget phones get good, and good phones get cheap. MKBHD. That's the goal. Imagine shaking it, and the next thing you know, yeah, the shaft flings off and flies right into that monitor. Yeah. You could get 7 times screwdriver for the price of 1 LTT. Okay, yeah, of course. So I've never liked the argument about buying merch from like content creators or influencers or whatever and complaining about the price for the most part, because the merch is there so that you can support them and get something in return. There are people who literally donate to, like, have you seen like Gamers Nexus or Linus's comment section? People literally donate or super chat or super comment like $50, $100, and they get nothing in return for that. If Linus is gonna give me a high quality screwdriver for $80, I'm mostly buying this because I'm trying to support Linus in some way, and I get a good screwdriver in return. If I cared about getting the most price to performance screwdriver, I wouldn't be buying it from, you know, the merch store of a big YouTube channel. I would be buying whatever I could find on Amazon. So, again, when you're buying something like this, you're buying it so you could support the creator and you know, get something nice in return. Because there are, isn't the equivalent to this thing, you know, from the same company that that they worked with, in the equivalent like $50 or $60? There's definitely like a cheaper version. The Snap-on one, right? The people that complain probably weren't gonna buy anyways. Yeah, it would be interesting to know what. Well, it's hard, right? Because you have to consider the R&D that goes into this. Which, even though you're like, oh, didn't they work with? Was it Snap-on? It's Snap-on, the brand that they worked with, right? That they're using like the same ratcheting system or whatever. Even though they worked with it, they did still have to do a fair amount of R&D work, getting the shape of it right, getting like, because this isn't the exact one for one of the Snap-on screwdriver, you know, the bit storage, things like that, like the ratcheting mechanism that they chose. I don't know, like you don't just get this without putting in a lot of time and effort, samples, all that stuff. It's expensive. So then you have to divide the cost of that over how many they sell, right? To get a more accurate representation of how much it costs per screwdriver. You can't just look at the manufacturer and assembly costs and say that's how much it was, because they probably spent. Did they say how much they spent on this? Is it like in the tens of thousands, or like how much did it cost for them to get this up and running, like from the start to when it was being sold? Yeah. He did a test on all of them, and the Linus one I think scored pretty well in it. Injection molds and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of one-time cost fees that go into these, to designing and manufacturing stuff like this. So there were several iterations, exactly. They work with Mega Pro, and Linus was talking 7 figures. So 7 figures means at least $1 million. Really? 7 figures? 7? That sounds like a bit much. I was thinking maybe breaking 100,000. I need to look into this more. If you're confident in it costing them 7 figures, aka $1 million or more, then I definitely need to look into that more. They said they have sold over 250,000, which means if they make at least $4 profit margin, then that pays off that 1 million, right? And then they gotta do taxes, but then there's tax write-offs. I don't know that, but yeah. The project was 2 years, and Linus bought like a couple thousand shafts that they couldn't have used. I would think, yeah, well over 100,000. Mega Pro has a patent on the ratchet, and they wanted one that works in reverse, so it was customized over the top. So yeah, all those things to say that although $79.99 is expensive for a screwdriver, when you account for the fact that you want to support a creator and that this is actually a quality screwdriver, you know, people waste money on so many other things that are more useless than the screwdriver, okay? So I'll leave it at that. But that's going to be it for this stream. Expect a video this weekend. It's going to be a used part pickup style video, which this one was pretty fun. I enjoyed it, and the way that it all worked out was good. So yeah. But other than that though, let's see. People always ask about LAN party. That's happening in September. Anything else? I have my MRI tomorrow. So hopefully next week I will have good news or bad news if I have to get surgery about my foot. But yeah, you guys have a great rest of your evening. Have a great rest of the week, and have a great weekend coming up. I will see you guys in the comments of the next video and in next week's stream. Take care. Bye-bye.